Thank you, Andrew. What I'd like to demonstrate is how cloud application integration and our API management capabilities are offering today API-driven order processing capabilities to our customers. What we're going to talk about is order processing, starting from checking out an item in a basket, obtaining an order ID for the purpose to be able to track it, like update the order, cancel the order, or find out how long the order is going to take to get delivered. The process starts with the website or your mobile device where you select goods that you want to order and you press checkout. You receive an order ID, and typically fairly quickly, either right there on the UI or by email very shortly after, so that you know that the order has been processed successfully. The order process starts, and it will go through a set of systems. Email will be sent, it will go to ERP systems, your customer relationship management systems. All of the systems are responsible for fulfilling these orders. At any time during the process, you may want to use the order ID to update your order or cancel the order, and of course, track the order. How this starts is by your website or your mobile applications making API calls to Informatica. It sends, for example, a message containing the item, an item count that you want to order. It might mask the credit card number and provide the ID of the customer placing that order. So let's see how this order is processed and how you implement the API. Notice here we have a graphical designer that allows you to design the path that the requests are going to take. It starts on the left with the start activity, where you define the inputs, your items, your counts, the credit card, mask credit card information that you want to be able to apply, as well as the ability to receive, check, cancel, and update order status. While it's running, you have the ability to monitor the incoming API calls. If you look on the list, the third item is for order processor, which is an API that was invoked from that website. Let's look into the details. We click in. Here we see highlighted through checkboxes the path that the API and the process for fulfilling the order is taken. And we can see that the input included item ID, account, and a mass credit card number, for example. While we said that we expect mass credit card numbers, a new API consumer might omit that and send you credit card numbers in the clear. We don't want this critical information to enter and be visible to your systems in an unmasked way. So how do you go about it? Well, leveraging API Manager, you can monitor APIs, but one of the things that you could do is go to the API that you're exposing, in this case, order processor in the middle of the list, where you can get the details of that API. For example, you'll notice it has a name, it has a URL, there's some authentication mechanisms that you see at the bottom, like basic authentication, OAuth, and JSON Web Token. And you can set policies on these APIs, for example, the rate limit of 50 requests per 30 seconds. If you need caching of the response, you can turn that on and you can filter either allowing or disallowing specific IP ranges. But the policy that we're going to use today to block incoming credit cards that are not masked are the PII policies that we've implemented. Using these PII policies and machine learning, Clara allows us to look at the content of the payloads of the messages that are coming in to automatically determine whether or not the data contains credit card information or email or IP address information that we can consider sensitive. Credit card information is sensitive. So we have some choices. We can warn on the requests come in that contain them, or we can block them. Well, we choose to block API consumers that don't mask their credit card numbers. So we're going to block these credit card information. Not only incoming requests, but we'll make sure that no credit card information actually leaves the system that in clear text. So I'm also going to block that. We'll apply it. And now what we have is an API that is blocking incoming and outgoing clear text credit card information. Now it's a member of a group. The group is the means by which we organize and group APIs together, those that are considered to be related, but also those that we want to manage from a perspective of authorization. In this case, order processor is part of the order processing group, as you see in the middle of the page. Let's look at the details of that order processing group, and we find that the fulfill order process is also a member of that group. So we should look at that API and turn on the same masking capabilities. Now, there are other things that we can do at the organizational level. And one of the features that I want to demonstrate here, or the new feature that we've introduced in the spring release, is the ability to expose OAuth to API consumers. Using OAuth, you can add a client, like the client at the top, and then you can create some new ones. For example, order processing clients that are going to be used for all of the APIs in the order processing group. And we're very pleased to make that capability available in spring 2020. Other things that you can do with API Manager, now that you've put blocking policy on the API, is to look at the analytics dashboard where you can get some details of the usage of that API and the incoming requests, for example, requests that are coming in for order processor. And by going to the event log, you now have the ability to see how a policy has been breached, then an API call has come in without a non-masked credit card, and you're told right here that the request was forbidden. So we've achieved what we were setting out to achieve. The Spring 2020 release also offers new capabilities to provide better operational insights for the APIs and policies that you've deployed on Informatica Intelligent Cloud Services. Let's have a look at Operational Insights new capabilities. Operational Insights gives you an overview of all IACS services. New with this release is the ability to get the details of processes and APIs and connections that are exposed by application integration. By looking at usage, for example, you can determine the number of daily usage calls and the breakdown of the calls that are being made for the APIs, but also the processes that implement these APIs. And most importantly, the connections that are used to serve up the data to the processes and ultimately the API to be able to expose and accept requests for fulfillment of your orders. So what I showed you in this demo is how with Informatica, you can implement order processing capabilities to support your ability to accept orders through checkout systems, to be able to track these orders, update them, cancel them, and through the capabilities of API management, such as the blocking of PII policies that are enabled by our machine learning clear capabilities, you can ensure that unmasked credit cards are not allowed into the system. I'd like to thank you for your time, Andrew, and everybody that's listening. And if you would like to learn more, go to informatica.com/CI for application integration or /API for more about our API management capabilities. Thanks again.